It's an odd luxury, having more time than you know what to do with. Most of us say we want more time, but when we have those days with no obligations, most of the time we don't actually know what to do with all that spare time. Hey guys, I'm Veronica, and today I want to take you through some steps on how to find a hobby that's engaging and is something you can get excited about doing in your spare time. If you're excited to watch this video, please tap that thumbs up and let's get into it. You're feeling aimless, you're not really sure what to do, you don't really feel like doing anything or expending any energy, so you just plop down on the couch and put something on TV. Hours later, you realize you wasted your whole day and you feel bad about it, but don't know what to do instead. So it becomes this endless spiral of disappointment and binging shows. I think one of the biggest reasons that this happens is simply because you don't have a target identified. It's no surprise that you're gonna feel aimless if you've never identified a goal to aim at. Most of us just don't put a lot of thought into what we really want in life. We might put a lot of thought into what we don't want, but it's much less powerful to say, I don't want to work this job in 5 years, than to say, in 5 years, I want to be doing this. Think of it this way. Say you're playing darts. Is it more effective to focus on the areas you don't want to hit and just try to avoid those, or to focus in on the bullseye and aim for that? If you've ever played darts before, I'm willing to bet that you chose the strategy of aiming directly for the bullseye. So if we want to use the same strategy in regular life, then it kind of makes sense to identify that bullseye in life. What is that ultimate goal that you have, or even just, your goal a year from now or 5 years from now? And that will help you just feel a little less aimless and like, well, I could be doing other things, but I don't know what. And what I think is really cool about this is, even if you have like a really, really high goal that you're like, there's no way I would ever achieve this. If you aim for that really high goal and you miss, you'll still probably reach a much higher level than if you lower your standards, set a much lower goal, and actually hit your target on that goal. So keep that in mind whenever you're setting goals like this. Like, I know sometimes it can feel like, oh, well, I have to make a realistic goal. That's not always the case, because sometimes it helps to strive for that like crazy thing, you could probably never get, and it's just such a long shot, but it's fun to strive for that. And even if you make it to like 80% of that goal, that's still probably a huge achievement. Okay, so now the second step that I kind of want to take you through is, say you have your goal identified. What happens next to a lot of people, is being too scared to start. One of my favorite quotes, which is from Buddha, is, there are 2 fatal errors which keep projects from coming to life. 1, not finishing. 2, not starting. This is something that I've had to work on so much. I'm a very outgoing person, but I get really scared and like nervous when I have like something new I want to kind of do, and that involves me putting myself out there. I just get very like, oh, what are people going to think? What are they going to say? However, I know me, and I know I'm the kind of person that once I take that first step, I will just go and run with whatever that thing is. Like, I know that I just need to get that first step kind of out of the way, and then I'll just go full force. So since I know this about myself, basically what I do to get over this scared to start idea is kind of this mantra that I've started to use, where basically anytime I have a thought of like, oh, I'd like to try that, and I kind of know what my first step is, and that doubt kind of starts to creep in, I just kind of say this mantra to myself, which I think was coined by Horace, and that is simply, don't think, just do. This is literally what I did when I uploaded my first video. I had, the thought of like, I'd like to start making videos, but I was so nervous to do my first one. I was just like, I don't want anyone to see it. Like, it's weird. Like, you want to make it, but you don't want anyone to see it. But I knew, like, I just need to get this first one out of the way, and I know it's going to be bad. I just have to do it to do it. So what I did is something that I knew would take very little thought and very little effort. And for me, that was, I just opened up my computer, started recording on an audio software, and just started talking. I didn't even record video at first because I was in an Airbnb and it was at night and I'd have to fix the lighting and my hair didn't look good. And I knew that if I went through all the steps of like setting it up perfectly and setting up my camera and doing all this stuff, I wouldn't actually click record because I'd get too much in my head. So what I did is I did something that took very little thought and I could just, open my computer and do it just to get that first step out of the way and to get that momentum going. And it worked because then once I got home, I already knew, okay, like I talked, on this recording, I have things to say. Now I just need to figure out how to record myself and upload it. And I basically just took one step at a time. That's what a lot of people, I think, struggle with is they focus so much on the later steps. Like, oh my God, eventually I'm going to have to figure out how to like edit these videos and do all this cool stuff and like effects and blah. You don't have to worry about that yet. Like, first, just figure out how to record a video, then figure out how to upload it. And then once those steps get easy, you can focus on the more complicated stuff. So if there's something that for you gets you excited thinking about starting it, maybe it's even like a blog. Stop thinking about, oh, I have to make a website and I don't know how to do that. And, oh, I have to build an email list to get people to do it. Just start like writing posts on social media that are, blog-like. Because if it's something that you actually want to like start developing and getting better at, you can worry later about figuring out all the technology and all the process and all that stuff. What matters right now is to just get your creative juices flowing and just to know that, okay, like this is something that's fun to me. I can do it and people like it, they're responding to it, and it just gets your momentum going. Okay, so this last one, which is really, really hard to get the hang of. It takes a lot of practice to get your mind in the right place and to kind of build up a shield against this thought coming into your head. Basically, it's a question that is going to creep into your brain at some point in the process, which is, why bother? I absolutely hate the question, why bother? It always makes its way into your brain because what's the first thing that happens when you have a goal that you know is a long shot? It's not going to happen anyway, so why even bother? And what happens? You don't do anything, and now you feel bad because you didn't even try, but if you tried, it wouldn't matter. So it gets you into this weird mentality, and it's just really not helpful. And so my defense against this question is a very simple one. And that's basically if I can reply to that question with this answer, because it will be fun to try. As long as whatever you're doing is fun for you, then what does it matter if you don't reach that ultimate goal? That's my mentality with literally everything I do. Like a lot of things that people might see me do, it's like, Veronica's doing all this random stuff. Like, why is she doing all these different things? Because it's fun. I mean, a lot of this stuff, it would be cool if it like got to certain levels, but honestly, I don't really care that much because I'm enjoying the process. And as long as I keep enjoying it, I'm going to keep doing it. And so there's nothing wrong with like, say you start doing something like that blog and you realize, what, I thought I wanted to do this, but actually writing stuff like every day or like every week and trying to upload it and do all stuff, like it's really not that much fun. Try something else. I mean, these big goals that you want to attain, they should be fun. And that's what kind of makes a hobby out of them. Because for me, like making videos, it's a hobby to me. It's not like, oh, if I don't reach a certain thing with it, it's going to be pointless. No, it's like fun to do. I enjoy it and I don't really care where it goes. So if you've made it this far, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I really hope that these steps in this thought process helped you, because I think a lot of people mistake feeling aimless and having all this free time and being bored with just, I don't have any hobbies or I don't have friends. Like, that's not really what it's about. It's probably just because you don't really have a goal that you're striving for. And once you have a goal and you have things that you can do that go towards that goal that are fun for you to do, those then become your hobbies. So what I think would be really fun is if you've made it this far in this video, please comment below with something that you've been scared to do, that you're committing to doing, at least taking one small step towards today. The first step really is the hardest one, and just know that once you take that little first small step, it's going to be much easier to move forward, and all of a sudden this goal that you're striving for kind of becomes your hobby, and it just becomes something fun that you do in your spare time. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.